Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Thanks for checking us out. Episode 30. Wow, this one was crazy, man. You guys got to way listen to this in detail. Like, take this in. Brock VanZweden. Like, I'm probably butchering your name, bro. I apologize. And I can't even say the name of the company. Quintessence? Anyway, health and wellness guy. Cannabis, CBD. You guys got to check this episode out. You're going to love it. We had a good talk. So we also had a sponsor. We got a sponsor here. You guys, happiest CBD, happiestmed.com. Or here. We have it here now. We're gonna help distribute this stuff and sell it. It's incredible. Really good stuff, man. We're really happy to be part of joining their team here hopefully soon and try the sleep one. Man, sleepy time, guys. I've never been so sleepy in my life. Happiest. It's awesome. Special shout out to Pre Voorhees for help sponsoring the show as well. Did I miss anybody? I think I got it. Okay, guys, check this episode out, number 30. You're going to love it. Welcome. You're listening to the 27th Hour with Junior
and Dre Rocker.
Get ready, strap in, and hang on.
Hey, welcome to the club. Okay, we're on the right track. Like, so you good? You guys find the game? I don't know.
Welcome back to the show. A 24-year-old boy was looking out the window from a bus that was full of people. He shouts, "Dad, look at the trees. They're going behind." Dad smiles, doesn't say a word. He's quiet, just smiling. Young couple sitting near these guys on this crowded bus is watching this kid and can't help but watch how his childish behavior is driving him crazy. Child again says, "Dad, look at the clouds. They're running with us." The couple couldn't resist. Like, man, what's going on with this guy? They said to the old man, the dad, "Why don't you take that kid to a good doctor?" The old man smiled again and said, "I did, and we're just coming from the hospital. People are tripping." It's like, "You see, my son was born with no sight. He has no vision. We're on our way back from the doctor here. He just got his eyes today." Every single person on the planet has a story. Don't judge people before you truly know them. The truth might surprise you. I thought that was a cool story.
Love it. I love it.
It ripped my heart out.
I love it.
How quick do we all do that?
Oh, more.
Like, look at
more
that
than
fucking
I'd
guy.
like
What
to
is
know.
his deal? It's like, you never know, man.
Nope. I think it is super easy. It's way easier to judge than it is to seek for understanding.
I think you're right.
So,
What's up, Brock?
nada.
Bring it in, baby.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah.
Sorry to roast you out of the fire there.
That's all right. I get used to it.
Fucking gets toasted. It's hard to climate control in here.
Hey.
We're kind of in a dungeon.
I think it looks great. I wish everyone else could see this. This is like badass.
Thanks, man.
Like way badass.
We're hoping people start watching them more than just listening, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
they will. I'd like to come here and just hang out.
You can anytime,
Hell
man.
yeah.
See with the lights on in here. We're always doing crazy shit in here.
Hell yeah. I love it.
Bro, talk to me. Tell me your story. What?
Oh, where should I begin?
Well, so how long ago was it when I think it's great because when I met you, it had to have been 15 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And you were like looking for a job. You're like, bro,
Yeah.
how do you get into line work? Or how do you, I'm like, hey, I remember that specifically.
Yeah.
Like, trying to help with like doing something with operating or something like that.
Mhm.
Last I heard from you.
Yeah.
Time flashes forward. All of a sudden we have tell us what you are, Big Daddy.
Yeah. So now I'm the CEO of Quintessence Health and Wellness, and I have my business partner, Dr. Adam Larson, and we just help patients with alternative medicine and just try and blend it with Western and Eastern medicine.
What is alternative medicine?
Well, maybe I should say cosmetics as well. We do Botox and fillers and IV hydration, vitamin hydration. We're going to be doing IV ketamine here as well for patients. Been doing a lot of the medical cannabis cards for people. We do testosterone replacement.
Fuck, you guys do
medical weight loss.
everything there.
Yeah. So we're going to do a drug detox here soon too.
So back up now. How did you lock in with that? How did you go from hunting a job like, man, I don't even kind of know what's up here. I wonder what I'm going to do here. And all of a sudden you're this. How did that all happen, bro?
Yeah. I started my whole career, and I think even this was somewhere in between looking for a job, doing the lineman stuff with you. I was general manager of Crossroads Fitness here in Layton, Sandy, and then that actually ended up taking me to North Carolina, and things just didn't work out there, and came back, and I went through the police academy. I thought I wanted to become a cop.
Dude.
Graduated, and that actually taught me a lot. I think cops get, law enforcement get really, like you were going back to your story, that it's really easy to judge police officers. Don't get me wrong, there's some assholes out there.
Sure.
But a lot of them really have got into that profession to try and help people. And let's face it, everyone wants to lie to a cop.
Yeah, man. When they show up, everybody's tripping. Like,
so it's like, how do you expect a cop not to treat you the way that they treat you? Because everyone lies to them.
Well, they only show up when shit's hit the fan, right? They're not there to high five people. They're there for a reason, right? Same with the doctor. You go to the doctor when you're sick. You don't go to the doctor to say hi.
Exactly. And
they're just professionally, throughout time, mold themselves into being very skeptical and watching people. And so I don't blame a thing about them. It's cool.
It's definitely a job that puts life into perspective, and that was a lot of huge reason. A week before I graduated, I remember I was having dinner with my family, and my mom was telling a story that she's told a lot of times. And I remember just thinking to myself, my mom's lying. And she wasn't.
About what?
The story that she was telling. She's told it
multiple
times. Yeah.
Going to, like, hey, you're
lying.
Got it.
I can see discrepancies in your story. And and I was like, whoa.
The fuck am I doing?
This is not the person I want to be. I love people, and I hadn't even obviously graduated. So I just didn't want to be that person, become jaded, and I was going there already. So, and you have to, otherwise you don't go home that day.
Dude.
That's the shitty part.
Those people are, hats off to every one of them. They're beautiful human beings. It's hard. That's a hard job, man.
Yeah. Anybody who can walk a day in their shoes and then criticize them, be my guest.
Right.
For $27 an hour, $35 an hour, and you're running to the gunfight, and everyone wants to sue you after.
What made you? That's the shift. There was you're like, holy fuck! I'm like this.
I just started to hate people. You see people at their word. There's stuff that happens here where we live that does never make the news, and thank God it doesn't, because it's some messed up stuff.
Right.
And it's scary to think that that's happening in your backyard. And sometimes being ignorant is bliss for sure. Yeah. But when you're in law enforcement, you're not able to have that bliss.
You're in it.
You're dealing right there with, the worst of the worst. People that are good people that you just meet them on their worst day.
Right.
And so it's, anyways.
You'd have been a great cop, bro. I think you'd have been.
I was a little too lenient, I got told.
Lenient.
I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and it would have got me killed, probably, to be honest with you.
I feel that.
So that was always a hard balancing act. But so I decided not to do that, and I think that probably was the time that I was, asking you about, hey, what about linemen?
Yeah.
And then I did some other jobs. I worked at Smith's warehouse. That was fun. And then I ended up working for England Logistics, doing trucking, as an account broker. Man, our country runs on transportation for sure.
Hats off to them too. Ryan Rowley.
Yeah.
We had a longtime sponsor of the show, Ryan Rowley Trucking. Another unbelievably unnoticed, unappreciated, unrespected, like out of they run.
If our country
world.
shut down or the truckers went on strike, America would be FUCKE day with a capital exclamation point
for
times
sure.
3 fucked.
And they get it to the UPS. Amazon don't. It's not the truckers get it to UPS, and then UPS. These people are beautiful humans, man.
Yeah,
it's
like
shit work, and it's
tough.
I feel that.
Yep. And then my other sister, Lindsay, who did home health and hospice as a marketer, she had been doing that for about 2 years, and me and her a lot alike at that time in a lot of ways. And I was like, that would be fun. I just hear the stories of the people she got to help, at their most vulnerable, scariest times, whether it was making that transition to, the next life or whatever's after here, depending on what people believe, or, helping them rehab. And you kind of show up as a hero, and that's a super awesome feeling for sure. But it's always for the patient. And so a job came open, and I did that for 6.5 years. And
what were you then? Were you
the official title was marketer, patient liaison. So
you're with them.
Yeah, with them, making sure services get set up, kind of holding their hand, walking family through the process, because it's not something that you experience every day in healthcare.
You're always going to the hardest job. Like,
I know.
I don't think I could do any of those, bro. That's beautiful. You're a beautiful soul.
Well, thank you.
Continue. I'm not trying to derail you. But
No. I loved my job for sure, and it taught me a ton, and that's a huge part. All of it has led up to where I'm at, with the legal part, understanding, for patients when it comes to medical cannabis card, having that legal understanding. I'm not a lawyer by any means, but from a cop's perspective of what they'd be looking for, because I've been through it, I can see what they would be looking for.
And you did the hospital.
Yeah.
You got every angle covered, bro.
So, life definitely happened for me. I didn't see it at the time. And, just through all the years, I've had some life coaches that have definitely been a huge cornerstone of where I'm at today, and helped me along the way. And but home health and hospice, that was a huge rewarding job, and it also helped me see a lot of the areas that healthcare is lacking. Healthcare will never be perfect, and I'd often tell patients, like, hey, you're expecting a perfect system, and that's just not the world we live in. It's got its flaws, and don't get me wrong, there's some areas that it could drastically improve, but it is what it is, and that's part of life, isn't it? We make mistakes, and we learn from them and move forward.
For sure.
But it definitely had an emotional toll it took to it. I remember.
I can only imagine, bro.
There would be patients that were shitty parents that said, I was a shitty dad, and I know why my kids don't even want to talk to me, and they're dying. They're in liver failure. Their kids won't even pick up the phone. So, I had the opportunity to spend their last moments with them.
The opportunity?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's heavy, bro.
I think, the secret of life is giving,
I feel that.
And a lot of people are in the mindset of just, what can I get, and never want to give. And you get so much in return that you just want to keep giving. And it's such an opportunity to be able to show up for somebody that has nobody. Even outside of that, just in general, helping open the door for somebody who can't even open the door. We take that for granted, and that's such a huge thing for them.
Sure.
To just do simple little things.
Yeah.
And so put a lot of that into perspective of, man, my life's not so shitty. I'm very grateful that I never had to do anything as far as directly with pediatrics, home health, or hospice. That would have been devastating to me, only because emotionally I couldn't handle that.
With the little guys.
Yeah. It would just destroy me, because
so much
innocence,
to do. Yeah, it's like
with the older people, they're like, I'm fucking ready to go. I don't know why everyone's sad.
I feel that.
What like, throw a party. Let's get this show on the road. I'm ready. Like, let's do this.
Does it end up taking a little toll though?
Oh, absolutely.
Man, that's
it definitely, I didn't realize how much of an emotional backpack per se of luggage that I was carrying. That once I was no longer doing what I did, the next morning I woke up with such a weight lifted off of my shoulders that I didn't realize was there.
Doing what?
Home health and hospice.
What was the weight lifted? Just
so I got let go from my job. Okay. Healthcare just started, and not blaming it by any means. It just got harder and harder as a marketer.
You're like this, so yes, I needed that.
And this goes into my story as well, that I had actually started my business a year before I got let go, and I was hoping that I could make a smooth transition. And life was like, yep, that's not happening. It's time for you to dive into this fully, like you need to be fully present. And so it gave me the opportunity to do that in a way that when they call, when I knew it was coming, patients never came second. When I was there, I still did my job 150% every day.
I feel that.
But I looked at him and said, thanks for the opportunity. It's been great. I've learned a ton here. And I was good. Like, it was just a huge weight lifted off my shoulder, the stress. And, it was also sad because I wasn't going to be able to work with patients every day, And that was actually where, doing it for 6 years, that halfway through healthcare is still making changes, and it's always going to do less with more, or do more with less, with less pay, less staff, but get better outcomes with half the pay and this, that, and just jumping through hoops. I mean, it was a struggle. It was very frustrating trying to help people, and everywhere you turned, there was a block, something that was so simple to be able to help somebody and actually save money in the long run for insurances, but they didn't see it that way. And so when that time came, it was like, okay, I've learned enough in life. I don't think I would have ever quit because I loved helping people.
For probably shit pay, I would imagine, too.
I got paid pretty decent.
Oh, God, I hope so.
I got paid pretty decent. And, but it's a struggle.
Yeah.
And definitely some politics in there as well. You think that people have patients' best interest, and this isn't across the board. I want people to know that, because oftentimes patients come in and like, oh, the doctors get paid to prescribe a prescription. Back in the day, absolutely they did.
Yeah.
Nowadays they don't. Drug reps can't even give them a pen. Otherwise, they get in huge trouble.
It's changing, isn't it?
Oh, it's changed. It's been like that for a couple of years. And like, we could do things because we were home health. We weren't a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
But, Western medicine serves its place.
Sure.
And I often give patients the analogy that come in, for medical cannabis cards, like, I hate my doctor, or I hate doctors. They just want to give me pills. And maybe you'll appreciate this, that, I like to use metaphors and analogies a lot, because it's something people can relate to and understand.
Love it.
That, they're kind of like the general contractors. And if I'm just your construction worker and I have a screw, okay, and I got to screw it into a frame, which I am, if you ever need help that way, please don't ask me, because I'll probably ruin it.
I'm going to have you lifting shit, though.
I can do that. I can destroy shit, but building shit, don't ask me. I'm not good with that stuff. But if I had a screw, hey, do you have a tool?
Yeah.
What tool would you give me if I had a screw? Drill, most likely.
Yeah.
Well, doctors have a hammer. You can still get that screw in, but there might be some side
Why
effects.
Why don't they have other tools?
Insurance doesn't want them to.
Okay.
It doesn't benefit them to. Like, and that's what
This is your tool.
This is your tool, and they have a prescription pad. That's all they have.
Right.
They're doing the best that they can with what they have, and what they've been taught. If they've never been shown a screwdriver or drill, they're not going to recommend it.
Right.
And that's a lot of what happens. Is there's just so much when it comes to medicine, and treatments, that there's so much out there, and there's anecdotal versus research and data and efficacy and the list goes on, that it's hard to sift through that. And your average family practitioner has, 2,800 patients they're trying to manage. Can you imagine trying to be in
dude, that's another impossible job to me.
Like, I can't even comprehend. I'm responsible for 2,800 people's health and well-being. That is incomparable to me, and trying to be productive and profitable as a practitioner,
and be as careful as you
pay
can.
my bills.
Yeah,
they're seeing patients every 10, 15 minutes, not by choice, because that's what insurance pays for.
Right.
They don't pay any more, they don't pay any less. So if you see a patient for a half hour, you don't get a bill for a half hour, you get a bill for 15 minutes, and that's not very much.
So they're in a corner too.
Yeah.
They're just doing their thing, man.
They're just trying to do it like everybody else, working their butts off, going to a 9 to 5, regardless of what it is, they're doing the best that they can.
Sure.
And, they've been taught a certain way. And what's been interesting is watching even the providers that work with me and Dr. Larson, is there's an interest, because, we'll have providers come in. Well, what about the data? What does it show? Now, there's not a whole lot. There's more and more coming out every day here in the U.S., but it's really hard right now to even just get research in the U.S. accomplished. It's pretty damn near impossible. And the funny thing is, if you look at the history of medical cannabis, it's actually, and maybe you know this or not, but most people don't, it's only been illegal for just barely over 50 years. Up until then, it was actually dispensed in pharmacies. How crazy is that?
That's just asinine. It never stayed that way.
Right. And there's a big reason as to why that is, and
Why
I
is
won't get
that?
in. It's a political
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Richard Nixon, he was racist.
Tricky Dicky.
Yep. His wife came to him with the, I can't remember what the drug policy was, whatever it was, but it played to his racism. And if you don't believe me, go listen to audio. That dude was a racist motherfucker.
Oh, it sucks, man.
Yeah. He did not like the Hispanics or African-American ethnicities at all. He hated them.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Good thing he's dead.
So
Sorry, Nixon.
like marijuana, you won't hear me use that term very often.
Marijuana?
Marijuana, because it was a derogatory term.
Cannabis.
Yep, cannabis. Now, there's some stuff out that says it's not, but that's originally where it originated from, was marijuana playing more to the Latin community, because the Latin Americans were bringing it up from Mexico. And so it was more of a derogatory term back then, a slang
That's too
term.
bad.
So, anyways.
We're getting back on track with it now, though. So
Right. So, and I can't remember, Henry Arslinger, if I said his name right. He did a really, really good job of marketing against it and creating that stigma. I mean, if you do it, you're going to go crazy. You're going to, kill your family, all this crazy stuff. And that's what people remember.
the DARE program, bro. Every one of us, it's burned in my head, that leaf.
Yep.
I didn't even know what it was. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing?
Right.
I still can see the leaf and the circle with the line. And
Yep.
man, that was the number one drug. I don't see any other thing in my head with that. I see the weed leaf.
Yep. And if you look at the jail and prison system in America, as soon as that became illegal, I think if I remember correctly, I may be a little off on my numbers, but about 60 to somewhere between 65 and 80% of people who are in jail are in there for cannabis, marijuana charges.
Still, probably.
Still. So we have a overcrowded population for stupid shit.
Right.
And it's a Schedule 1, which if anybody knows what that means, it has no medicinal purpose. Heroin, opiates have a medicinal purpose. They're not even a Schedule 1.
Mm-hmm.
Meth is not even a Schedule 1.
So it's the worst, they think.
It's one of the worst, but it's actually not.
So is it the lower the number, the bigger of a deal it is then?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But it's funny because, depending on the drug, you can have quite a bit before it becomes a felony as far as marijuana goes in drug terms.
Over an ounce or some shit.
Oh, you can have it before it becomes a felony. I think you have to have like 500 pounds, something
Holy
like that.
Fuck, that's a lot of weed, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have to be distributing.
Right.
But, possession charge here and there, paraphernalia, that's easy. But it's not a felony. Now, if you get caught with another Schedule 1, like LSD, for example, that's a felony charge. I believe I might be wrong on LSD.
It's another medicine. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, psychedelics.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all.
No, not at all. Psilocybin, LSD, used appropriate. Alcohol is a medicine. If you actually look in Utah law, parents can legally rub alcohol, whiskey on their teething children's gums to help them with teething. And that's not illegal.
Why I'm an alcoholic was. Every time I'd cough,
right?
Jaeger.
Yeah, Jaeger.
He's fine. Give him a shot.
Maybe it was just the whiskey you're supposed to have, not the Jaeger. No, just kidding. But, everything in moderation.
Anything,
I think,
everything can help you, bro.
Yeah.
Who makes that? Who makes the levels as far as like level 1?
The federal government.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like the FDA, or just like.
Yep. So that's where the big, gray area when a provider is interested in doing it with their patients is it can be legal state-wise, but federal always supersedes state. And as of right now, it's a Schedule 1. So it creates this really awkward dynamic legally that, if you look across the board for any doctor that's legally doing it, the DEA has said they will not prosecute any provider that pretty much does not do any of 12 things. And they're pretty outrageous, like working with the cartel, selling other drugs out of the clinic, like just being completely irresponsible.
Sure.
Like you'd have to be a complete dumbass in all honesty and just not give a shit about anybody.
Does it have to be a doctor?
Yes.
You keep saying doctor. What's your doctor's name again? Larson?
Yeah.
So you have to be a MD?
MD, PA, NP. So anybody that can,
So up to a
prescribe, at least in the state of Utah, anybody that has a controlled DEA prescribing license can
obtain this.
Yep.
How hard is it for these people to obtain that?
There's a 4-hour course that they can go through that the state's approved 4 of them.
So it's not a huge deal.
No. And, I send my providers through a certain one. I've looked at other ones. There's one that the IHC. And if you have the chance to go through them, I would, just for entertainment purposes and education, because a lot of them actually are more geared towards addiction and kind of the negative puts it in a negative connotation instead of the therapeutic.
To go through what, though? What were you saying to go through?
The QMP, so qualified medical provider, is what the Utah state, state of Utah has titled it, as far as a doctor that can prescribe cannabis legally. And so depending on your licensure, so Dr. Larson's an anesthesiologist. So because of what his specialty is, he has allotted 600 patients a year to be able to do that with.
To distribute cannabis
to qualify
to write,
600 patients in the first year. How many opiate patients can a pain specialist prescribe?
Endless.
Kind of weird, huh?
Why the number? I guess that'd get deep and weird, but why? So there's a number. They've put a number on it. 600.
I think from a healthcare, my professional answer, which is also partly real. I know a lot of people were really upset when Prop 2 didn't pass, and probably won't like me for saying this, but I'm actually glad it didn't. In a way.
What's Prop 2?
They wanted it recreational.
Okay. In Utah,
and it didn't pass.
And you're good for that.
I'm good for now, only because, let's face it, we as a society lack the ability to be disciplined with damn near anything.
Well, yeah. Why not dip our toe before we jump in, kind of thing?
Exactly. Let's learn about it.
Yeah.
And from a selfish perspective, I want to learn about it medically before it just becomes so rampant anywhere you can get it that we miss a huge window of opportunity to actually learn the therapeutic benefits of cannabis. Someone might counter that and say, well, it actually opened a bigger door and allow more of that to happen. And that's potentially so, but this is what the state of Utah deemed appropriate. So we got to work with what we got.
Sure.
So I'm not against recreational by any means. I would just like to learn from it. And also, people are leery. We have a lot of patients like, how the hell do I do this? We have patients that come in who have been smoking it for 25, 30 years.
Yep.
And they learn a thing or two because they've not, they've just been doing what they do, and the information has not been available like it is today.
Right.
And to actually better help medicate them for what they're using it for, that they're like, holy shit.
Because you can narrow it into unbelievable, like, pinpoint accuracy of
almost
the strains. I mean, it's not a fucking Loratab to fix everything, and then everybody ends up. It doesn't even help pain.
It does.
You Loratab.
Oh yes.
You end up. It doesn't. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Right,
right. They don't, man. For the first dose, they do, and then you just like the fucking high.
Right.
Everybody get real with everybody.
Yep.
Whoever's taking that shit, you know what I mean. Like.
Yep.
You just it doesn't make it just makes you stupid, right? So.
Right.
But it seems cannabis, you can strain it very, very accurately.
Very specifically.
Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I love about cannabis, because like Loratab, for example, you're given, a 7.5, a 10, or, an Roxycontin or whatever, morphine, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You have a very specific regimen you're supposed to follow. 10, 15 milligrams 4 times a day by mouth, blah, blah, blah. Well, with cannabis, here's the interesting part that the providers can't do per se, because everyone is so different. There are so many variables, and I love this part from a patient perspective, being a patient myself.
Sure.
It's the first time patients actually have to play and be a part of their care.
Try this. Let's see how this goes.
Yep. Because you can try like an edible or a gummy, for example,
right,
and that may not work for you. But it may not work.
Why is that? What the hell is that?
It depends on what they're using it for.
But some people don't. Some people fucking lose it on them, and some
Right, because with cannabis, and I learned this the hard way, 10 milligrams doesn't seem like shit. How many people take 3,
Fuck you.
4, 5, 6,
10's
7?
a lot.
You know that.
10's a lot,
but
bro.
how many people are like, I took 100 and I fucking hated it?
No, fuck you.
Or they've never taken it and they're like, 10, give me that. Give me 4 of those. Oh, yeah, no.
You take 10 of it, the right you are having you're good.
You're either
I don't care how
good
big you are, how tough
or
you are.
you are gone, and it's not very. You're there for 8 to probably 12 hours. For the next 8 to 12 hours, you're going for a roller coaster
And
ride.
you're welcome, everybody.
Not
Yep.
able to feel your feet.
Sometimes you can't feel your feet out here. It's
Yeah.
weird.
And if you're not used to that and know what to expect, that can be very scary.
Hell yeah.
You know,
People trip,
because
man.
it takes 2 hours for an edible to kick in. So what are we used to? 20 minutes? I don't feel shit. Take another 10. Oh, I still don't feel it. Another 10. Well, by the time that first one's now kicked in, you've taken 30 milligrams.
So what's the big deal with? Why are they all so against smoking it in some way?
There's actually a medical reason to that.
Okay, let's do it.
So you have cannabinoids on cannabis, right? Because flower still is legal. You can get that in a pharmacy here in Utah. Okay, inhalation is what they call it.
Okay,
medically, and you can inhale flower through a warming device, and there's a medical reason. It's not because the state of Utah wanted to be assholes or it's the church. That has nothing to do with it. There may be a part of that. Sure, I'll acknowledge that, but there's actually more of a medical purpose to why, and that's because cannabinoids actually have a burning off point. Okay, so a flame is what, 450, 480, your average lighter. Well, truth be told, THC burns off at about 425, 450. So you're actually burning off.
You're losing a lot of it?
You're losing THC.
That's why edibles make your feet not fucking work.
So you're at, and a lot of other cannabinoids that come into it, because there's over 100 plus.
Dude, that is fucking cool for people to know that.
Yeah.
I like that.
If the goal was to get high, you're doing yourself a disservice anyways by lighting it.
What about the blunts, the joints, the smoking
Same.
them that way? Is it still burning too hot?
Still burning too hot. Plus, you're also, there is the carcinogens that come in as well. Anything outside of oxygen is not good for our lungs. But let's take asthma, for example. If you're having an asthma attack, albuterol is a great, fast way to get the medication into your system quickly. And so for breakthrough pain, inhalation works awesome. Anxiety attacks, it has its purpose.
Sure.
Same thing with edibles or tinctures or topicals. It's now the first time patients actually have to educate themselves on, why am I taking this?
They're more involved in it. I like
exactly.
that.
I love that part, because you can
feel that.
You can just wildly burp it and shoot from the hip, but you're probably going to miss, and by a long shot.
Well, and it can ruin what you're doing too, because we're very pro. I'm pro to the end of time.
Absolutely.
We have done it my whole life anyway. So,
yeah. It's one of the oldest. Actually, I think cannabis and opium date back, clear back down from as far back as like 10,000 plus BC is one of the first medications on record to have been used effectively.
Really?
In China.
And it works.
So
let's get rid of it and make it illegal.
Yeah. Makes too much money until they figure out how to tax it.
I wanted to go back a little bit because you mentioned that you're pro recreation, but not right now. You're cool with Prop 2 not going through because doctors need to learn a little bit more about this. But there are a lot of states that have been recreational. Don't you think that there's something for Utah to learn from them? And
absolutely.
Pushing this shit through?
Absolutely. We can learn something from everybody. And I shouldn't say I'm not against Prop 2, because to be honest with you, I didn't read that bill. I got to the party late when it came to voting for it. So I want it to be more accessible. It's an easy process to get your card, but it's still not as convenient as other medications are. Let's
go for the throat. Does going recreational take from you guys?
And I would love to see it get to a point where it's way like Walgreens, CVS, Smith's Pharmacy status, where you can just go anywhere, but it's its own animal and beast in and of itself. And to effectively help people with it, because we have had a lot of people that try it for the first time and nope, I will not do that. Well, one form, you can't write it off. Same thing with CBD. You don't just try it once. There's a lot of things that go into it as to why it may not be working for you. And so I think this setting for right now works well. Definitely it has room for improvement and especially room for leniency. Like, I think the cap thing is absolutely stupid. I mean, if we could service more patients and market, yet we can't do that. We can't tell patients, hey, we do this. It's just word of mouth and very limited. I mean, we used to run radio ads, and that was awesome. But then the radio stations were like, oh, it's federally illegal. We don't want to do this.
Yeah, we're running into that right now.
And
Where it's 420, we have more and more dispensaries and medical. I don't know if dispensaries is the right word.
yeah,
But
pharmacy, dispensary.
They want to advertise, but we can't legally say these things,
Right.
right? So we have to we have to get creative with it.
Yeah.
But yet we run vape shops and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. It's kind of
so
crazy.
stupid, man.
Yeah. I mean, if you look, there's only 2 countries in the world that allow pharmaceuticals to market direct to consumer. The U.S. and New Zealand are the only 2. Outside of that, you don't have that.
I mean, really?
Yep. Like when you see, ask your doctor if this would be right for you.
Yeah.
You don't see that in any other country. It's illegal. Can't do it.
No advertising.
No advertising.
It's very suggestive, right? The power of suggestions.
Right?
pretty
Oh my
gnarly.
gosh! Like, how many of you been sitting on your
I do
beanbag
have-
in your
my-
underwear?
my
and
ass
eating
does hurt.
Cheetos, right? You're
Yeah.
in your beanbag late at night eating Cheetos, and you're like, "Holy shit! I think they're talking to me."
I do have a heart fucking whatever.
Right? And you're like, and then the guy's like, "Send me money and I'll save you." And you're like, "Oh fuck!" For a minute, I thought he was talking to me, but he hit on every symptom there for a second.
Brock,
love
let's be real. Nobody owns a beanbag chair. No.
That's so Ron White right there.
Dude. Right, that is
Sitting in your
that is
beanbag
so
naked
wrong,
eating
right?
Cheetos.
Right, I stole that from him. I thought that was.
I was picking up on it.
I
love
thought he
it.
was talking to me.
Oh, thought you were talking to me.
Shit, I have a beanbag. It's zebra striped.
Dude. So I jumped in there earlier, but I didn't get an answer, and I
No,
wasn't
you're
trying to
good.
be rude, but is that a thing? If it's recreational, does it harm you guys? Does it harm the distributors? Or how does it work when it's recreational? What does that mean?
I don't think it would harm us, to be honest with you, because you go down to Nevada and you have medical grade and you have recreational grade, and there's a big difference.
So you still
from
have
what
to
I've-
get it from a dispensary. You
Yep.
can't. That's
Yeah, so like
just
even
have it
down
out
in
and about.
Wendover, where patients like last year could go and
Yeah.
bring across state lines legally and not get in trouble.
Whoa,
If-
we could.
Yep. Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you had your affirmative defense letter, you were able to buy medical grade
We were always tripping.
and you got a discount. So
See what we need education.
So you said was what is now?
Yeah.
Like what can we do now?
so as of January 1st, they and they're I can't officially say, but they're discussing kind of extending that. That's just not official yet, because obviously as a state, they would like the citizens to be able to get it from local people.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
So is it legal now or no?
What?
To do that? To
Technically not right now.
okay.
But that changed January 1st.
Gotcha.
But there might be an extension on that. They're talking pretty seriously about allowing that to be extended because you have people in these rural, like take St. George, for example. They're right damn near, I mean, it's what, 30 minutes?
Vegas, baby.
Yeah, but they don't have a pharmacy.
Mesquite.
So that doesn't really make sense for people to get legal. Whereas before it did.
Yeah.
So that's why they're thinking about allowing it to be extended for a few more months until the other pharmacies get up and going and allow patients. And they're also going to be doing home deliveries, servicing remote areas.
we have-
So
Yeah.
you can actually, a lot of
shit's
them
cool.
around here now will just deliver straight to your
Yeah.
house.
We've done it.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
It's dope, man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's time. It is
Yeah.
time. How many dispensaries are in Utah? Do you have any idea?
I think there's 12.
Fuck, that's it.
Yeah, I think there's 2 more.
How many's in like Cali or
Well,
Nevada?
Legal or illegal in Cali?
Oh, they have dispensaries
Oh.
that are illegal?
Hell yeah.
Dude, that's
There's
ballsy.
a pretty good documentary on just the marijuana.
Why would you open a dispensary illegally and be right? Hey, I sell fucking. That's if you get checked, aren't you in some deep shit?
Yeah, it's kind of like going fishing though. Sometimes you catch them, sometimes you don't. I mean, at the same time, the cops have much bigger problems than a fucking weed dispensary.
Damn.
Like they're dealing with murders and shit.
Where is all this shit coming from?
Well, that's
Billions and billions of pounds of this shit. Where's it coming from?
That's also the other part medically that I do like, because recreational, the leniency or lack of regulation
Yeah.
is not there yet.
Right.
Not saying that there isn't good companies that make good products.
Just get it.
Yeah, but like they're putting RPGs in there, okay, which in the food industry is illegal because it enhances the growth, but it also causes some severe side effects. We had a patient that we've had multiple patients go and stop on their way home from, or go to Colorado, get it at the nearest one recreational, and they've been doing it their entire lives. Inhale or smoke their flour, and they instantly have side effects they have never experienced in their life.
Negative?
Yes. Very painful ones that
Holy
now they
shit.
are terrified to ever even consume again, to the point where they have pain in their feet. And I'm talking like patients who are pretty built and tough. Like they're not little like Granny Annie patients.
So they got a wrong strain that fucked them up.
They had something in there that messed them up. There was pretty much a toxin in there that their body is like, fuck you.
That was a big deal with the vape pens, right?
Yep. The vape pens had vitamin E in it. That's what was killing patients. Had nothing to do with anything else other than there was a shit ton of vitamin E.
Shitting themselves like I've heard we've heard lots of that. People
Yeah.
just getting super sick to their stomach over it and stuff. I'm like,
Yep.
man.
Vitamin E is actually good for not just for your skin, but it's also got cardiovascular benefits to it as well.
Smoking it? Damn.
But in high concentrations, it'll cause cardiac arrest, heart attack, stroke.
And that's what those little fuckers are full of.
Yep. I mean, what do they use in lethal injection? One of the last ingredients is potassium.
Okay.
Potassium you get over the counter. It's a vitamin, but too much of one good thing can kill you too. Now, as far as what I'm talking about on the recreational, the regulations just aren't in place.
Right.
So you can be taking a gamble.
Sure.
You're kind of hoping that the people you're buying it from are ethical and vetting and doing the best they can to make sure that you're getting good stuff. Because like when they harvest hemp, for example, you have a lot of farmers that sitting on these acres and acres of hemp, and they roll it up, put it in these bags, or put it in a barn. Well, within 90 days, the degradation of that bundle is over 50%. It's actually 25%. You now start to cultivate mold.
Right.
And other toxic stuff going on in there because of how it's being stored. So, and if they don't know that, that's going to go into production and people are going to get it and get super sick.
And it's the demand for it that's doing this, right?
Yep.
So it's a good thing to get your goddamn card. Get good medical stuff. How do people get their card? Why is it so? I tattoo in here all the time, and we always have people. She has her card. We're very proud to say that and do it. I think both of them do. She got it from you.
Yeah, she did.
They're like they give us a story like, oh, I tried, and it's a and this fucking story about how they couldn't get their card. And how hard is it to get a card in Utah?
I'll say it this way: it's harder not to get your card than it is to get your card.
Quit having excuses, people.
Yeah.
Go talk to
we definitely do it right, and hopefully, these ladies, at least I know for sure you that can speak to that we walk patients through that process. I mean, pain lasting longer than 2 weeks that hasn't adequately been managed in the provider's opinion, having tried 2 other alternate forms of treatment, and I'm literally stating this from the qualifying condition.
I feel that.
Of over-the-counter medications such as ibuprofen, aspirin, Tylenol, blah, 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 or physical intervention, acupuncture, massage, chiropractic,
Yeah.
So let's say you had a headache. It's not consistent for 2 weeks, but it's intermittent, and you've talked to somebody, you went and got acupuncture, you went and got a massage for it, and you can get a medical record of that or a note from that treatment provider, you would qualify. So it's not hard.
How about the 600 patient thing?
That can be a challenge. I mean, thankfully, there's a lot more providers that are becoming open to it. I mean, I have probably about 8 that work with me.
God, I wish they all need to do this.
And a lot of times, it's the organizations they work for don't allow them to.
Yeah.
I have a buddy who works, at one of the bigger hospitals doing palliative care. Now, he would have 600 patients if he could. You know how many he has? 3.
Why?
The organization doesn't like it.
It's too bad.
But they have publicly announced that providers can do it. It's just, it doesn't play into their financial plans. There's a lot of unknowns, and also a lack of understanding. Going back to your story at the beginning, that people just don't understand. They're super quick to judge.
So they're going to stay comfortable.
Yep. They retract. Nope. But we're trying to find that middle ground where it makes sense. And even with across, the nation, as soon as it made sense tax-wise, how it's going to fit in, you saw a lot more acceptance. And it's, you can call it money, greed, whatever. At the end of the day, aren't we all trying to make money? There's nothing wrong with that.
That's it.
If I provide a service, I should get compensated, not because I feel entitled to that, but because it keeps balance between us. Like, if you gave me a tattoo and I didn't do anything of value to you, how could I repay you? Yep. That's where the term "I'm indebted to you" came from. Like, I can't offer you anything other than money.
Right.
So now I can give you money and keep that balance, in my perspective, the universe.
Yeah.
Keep that balance. Now we're square, right?
Yep.
Instead of, well, you owe me and then you can never find me again.
Right.
In this day and age. So
we've run into a few of this.
Right. Some crafty people still.
For sure.
But so hopefully that answered your question as well.
Yeah.
So,
dude,
yeah, I definitely think that it should be more available. And my whole thing is just understanding it. Let's learn as much as we possibly can, and at least lighten the reins in a lot of areas to where we can do that. Medically, having it be accessible, because that's the biggest problem is people just, I think that's also part of it from my perspective of making it recreational. You'd have a lot of people be like, oh, here we go. Still have that negative stigma associated and never explore it. You're just going to be a stoner on the couch, do nothing, just be a waste of space.
Not the case.
That's life, though. That has nothing to do with cannabis.
But they don't know that.
Yeah.
They don't know that, though.
But
you look at that older generation. You're fighting stigma that has literally been ingrained into their brain.
You think that has a lot to do with Utah too? Because we're kind of an older state.
We're definitely a conservative state for sure.
I'm surprised we even got this far. Like, I'm down.
Yeah.
It's coming. We're not the last one.
Right. Yeah, definitely. We weren't 50. We were 38. So
are we 38?
We were 38. So
30 fucking 8.
Right. Better than 50.
That's better than 50. And I would never think
it.
I love Utah dearly. I've traveled everywhere, man, and I just love this state.
For sure. Great. Utah's got a lot of great benefits, and it's got its cons too, and but I'm proud to be from here. I've traveled all over the country, and I can tell you there's some places I wouldn't fucking live nor travel to.
This place is dope, man. People bitch a little bit. People that complain about it, I don't think have been anywhere. That is my honest opinion.
Oh yeah. It's definitely got
roads systems are beautiful, and we're always working. It's a good economy. Utah's dope, man.
Yeah, a little too many potholes, but
right. Hey, sure. Go to Washington, go to Virginia,
back east.
State, Washington State or Washington D.C.
D.C.
Okay, I haven't been there.
If you looked at the toll, I actually did this out of curiosity, just research. Like your average spend just from driving on the roads over there, the damage on your car is grand total of like $5,000 a year.
And you got to fucking pay to drive on every road. You got to pay tolls everywhere.
That's just the damage that gets done to your car. Here it's about maybe at most on the high end was about $1,000 a year, just from the wear and tear of the roads. So we got a pretty good road system here.
I'm a Utah guy. I think we're innovative. We're young. The state is young. Our people. It's a younger state. It's not. Yeah. It's like an innovative state, especially even for our craft, for the tattoo world. It's a lot of really good stuff comes from here. A lot of new companies and new stuff. All that good.
One of the most upcoming states in the nation, actually, as far as jobs go.
Yeah.
We're pretty lucky to be here and be a part of that innovation. And I think it's time for it's always time for change.
Absolutely.
The quicker you can adapt, the better off you're going to be. Be flexible. I'm not saying you have to change your perspective, but be flexible in your approach and how you get there.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite quotes is what got us here won't get us there. So let's pivot. I'm a pivot guy.
Yeah.
I work with more people. I don't work anymore. That's funny shit. That chop pills up on their fucking thing for the timesheet. Man, it's rampant in the line world. For pain.
Management.
Pain. Yeah, man, it's sad to see that shit. And I'm like, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not cool, man. And they can't take them no more. It's destroyed their guts, whatever. They're snorting the shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just like, man,
It becomes
this is crazy.
it'll take your soul.
It's madness, man. We really need to embrace this.
Yep.
And
Watch The Pharmacist if you haven't watched that on Netflix.
The Pharmacist.
Oh my gosh, it's a documentary about a pharmacist and how Purdue Pharma, who made OxyContin, and it's a really good watch. Really good.
I can't wait to see what the effect of this will be then. Cannabis, right? Are there, to your knowledge, overdosing from it? Is there things like this? Do you have stats like that are very, very easy to?
And they have these even from before now. We have actually really positive stats too. So people who are on opiates, usually we will see that like when my providers check the controlled database on their patients, not that they have to, just out of curiosity.
Sure.
Usually within the first 2 months, a 50% reduction. Here's the beautiful thing about cannabis when it comes to opiates, and I think people need to know this, is if you take Xanax and an opiate, you have a real high risk of not waking up or aspirating and dying, right? Choking on your own vomit.
Little peep.
Yep. So here's the cool thing with cannabis is, number one, there's a really world-renowned physician in Israel that has discovered, this is not new, back in the 60s, and told everybody, and everyone laughed at him, that we have an endocannabinoid system. If you look at how many things cannabis treats, this makes complete sense. Like you have glaucoma, you have autoimmune, the list goes on. It's really long.
Right.
And that was one of the things I really kind of touching on this, on the pain qualifying condition that Utah did well, is making it more general instead of having a 3-page list of, if you don't have that condition and have that diagnosis, you're screwed. You ain't getting it.
Right.
So that encompasses a lot of conditions, but that we have an endocannabinoid system that actually affects every one of our internal systems in our body. And that's why it treats so many things. So they've actually are finding that most people have an endocannabinoid deficiency that is just deficient and imbalanced. And when you introduce that, that's why it treats so many different things.
It's crazy stuff, man.
Yeah. And going back to the opiates, that it actually makes them more effective in a positive way. It doesn't suppress your respiratory or cardiovascular system where your heart just says, "Oh, I'm going to go to sleep." It does not do that. So it's very safe to take. There's very, very minimal. It's zero. And I don't want to say this officially because I'm not a medical provider by any means, but I have yet to find any contraindications against medications that it can't be used in conjunction with. Is there always a potential for side effect? Absolutely.
Because it's an
absolutely
inhibitor, right? So anything you're doing, it actually makes better. Things sound better. They taste better. They feel better.
Seth Rogen.
What's that?
It's Pineapple Express. Sorry.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's real. Like everything you do is just enhanced, and you're so happy and you feel okay. And
right.
My knees quit hurting, and I'm like, why the fuck can't I do this?
Because it's a very strong and potent anti-inflammatory.
Oh, dude, it's incredible for pain. It's incredible. Even CBD.
Yep.
As a matter of fact,
CBD is great, and most people don't know this either. That who are on the older end of the spectrum are like, well, I don't want to get high. Cool, take some CBD and it'll bring you down real fast.
I'm telling you right now, that sleep shit is ridiculous. This number 8, I'm sure you guys deal with it too, but we have a sponsor that we work with, and the sleep one is it's fucking amazing. It's 1-2, you're out, bro.
It helps me sleep, and that's actually across the country.
That? Why does it do that?
Well, different strains do. You have your indica.
It's very powerful.
And that helps you with sleep. You have a hybrid that's a mixture of both. Technically,
but CBD.
CBD.
Yeah. What the hell is that? That just pulls you down that way and just. I feel like I'm
it would depend on what's
in
in that. To be honest with you, because CBD is a very broad term. You have CBN, you have CBG, you have CBDVA. You have so many different actual cannabinoids. But CBD is a general term.
So it's one of the cannabinoids.
So CBG will help you go to sleep. It wouldn't surprise me if I looked at this and there was CBG in here.
Is that number 8?
Delta 8? No, that's a different one.
That's the number 8, right here on the front for sleep.
What are you looking at?
Big number.
Oh, the big number.
Does it say number 8 or number 2?
This says number 8.
Yeah,
I think
that's for
just
sleep. That's for sleep.
So that's their, okay, so I think it has CBG. I can't really find it.
It's pretty fine writing, but it's incredible shit.
But then you also have the terpenes in there. So everyone knows doTERRA. Okay. That's essential oils.
Right.
And cannabis and hemp have a lot of terpenes in them, and depending on what terpenes are in it, enhances those effects.
That's crazy. I think it's beautiful medicine, man. There's nothing about it I don't love. Not
Yeah.
one thing.
I love that you can take it, and I don't have to worry or because you don't get it from me. But if I were to, hypothetically, I could give a patient 500 pounds, for example, smoke that by tomorrow, and I know you're going to wake up.
Yeah.
If I gave someone a Loratab 5, a 7, a 10,
You take 3 of them, you may not wake up.
I wouldn't sleep.
Right.
Terrified that person's not going to wake up. But I know you're going to wake up. It literally, the lethal dose of cannabis is 1,500 pounds. You'd have to smoke 1,500 pounds in 15 minutes.
Holy fuck.
Good luck.
Has anybody ever tried that?
Fucking Snoop and
Shit.
Wiz, 1,500 pounds.
Your lungs couldn't do that. You couldn't handle that. You would not even be able to consume the amount of the inhalation that it would require. You wouldn't be able to do it.
How about one more thing? I don't know how long we've even gone here, but one more, like, is there any knowledge to you of respiratory problems with long-term use of it, with cannabis, with smoking it?
Yeah,
Is
there is. And that's usually contributed to, the combustion part of
the butane, the shit.
Yep, you're still getting a toxin. You have carcinogens, and let's be honest, anything that is outside of oxygen technically isn't good.
Absolutely.
But as far as medication, if you need it that quick, a quick form of like IVs, you don't see people run around shoving IVs in them. But
Did
it's
you do a
great
THC
way.
IV?
They actually do it over in Europe.
Fuck, dude, that would be
I can't wait for the day that they allow us
that
to
would
do
be
it.
brutal cool, man. That'd make you feel good quick.
They do MDA infusions over there.
Wow. We need to get to it, man.
Hey, I'm working on it.
I know you are, and
I'm gonna be
I'm
one
happy.
of the first ones that we do it.
I'm happy that there's people like you out there doing this. A lot of us are dumb and just want to feel good, man. People hurt. We want to feel good. Even want to just disengage, whatever it is, man.
Yep.
That's the answer. It's the answer.
And
it needs to be where I can go to work. I don't go to work anymore, but people here can go to work and not fucking worry about their job. It needs to be that, man.
Right. Contribute. You go and contribute every day. You add value to people's lives. But if you are in pain and your body can't distinguish, and they've done studies on this, between emotional and physical pain, your brain literally cannot tell the difference.
Subconsciously, yeah.
It cannot tell. So whether it's emotional or physical, and you put a combination of both, I mean, that's debilitating.
Absolutely.
And nobody wants to go through their life in pain. Are we human and going to have that to some degree? Yeah. Even with cannabis, I'm a big proponent of let's see how it is. It's, it's often referred to as a silver bullet, not to downplay it by any means. It's awesome.
What?
But cannabis.
Okay.
But are there some side effects? Absolutely there are.
Sure.
They're few and far between and very minimal, if zero, for most people.
How can most people get out of the paranoia issue? I know that's one of the biggest.
CBD is a huge piece of that.
So THC there's a really high possibility. I think a lot of it's the person.
Absolutely.
Do you agree with that? Okay.
Yep. THC is great. So this is another analogy I use when it comes to CBD and THC. I'm not a baker, but it makes sense to me.
Sure.
If we were to bake a cake, okay, we need essentially some 2 ingredients, and I use these. Flour, that would be your CBD. Okay. THC is your sugar. Now, can we do one and the other? Can we make a cake with one without the other? Yeah. But if we do it without flour, we're going to have a really runny cake and just be really high, right?
Sure.
Now, can we make one without THC and just flour? Yep. Really thick cake, but it tastes very bland.
Sure.
Okay. Now, and they go hand in hand. They actually work better together.
CBD and THC.
Absolutely.
What would that be called? What is that?
Just your ratios.
You can just buy it infused.
Yeah.
Get it
So
infused.
that's why every CBD, even legally, has 0.3% THC allowed in it federally.
So probably a lot of tinctures. It's easier to do with tinctures.
You can get them with higher concentrations of CBD or THC, depending on what you're using it for.
Yeah.
But the beauty of using them together is if we get the right ratio, we get the right cake. Right, because if we add too much flour, it's gonna be really thick, and CBD, you're gonna notice a difference in the consistency of the cake. But with the sugar, you're gonna feel a difference.
See, there's not any of that in the other drugs. You just take it.
Yep, just take it.
Just take the pill. It's fine.
Yep.
You guys are good, man. You guys are you're scientists. You guys are so you're so wanting to help, and every one of you have the same idea of just wanting to help people, man. And
that goes right back to your story. We
cool.
want to understand it.
Sure.
Because if I understand it, Albert Einstein says, intelligence is not making something simple complicated. It's actually the opposite of taking something complicated and making it simple.
Absolutely. I live by it.
So, and that's all we want to do is understand it so we can actually truly effectively help people get rid of the pain, treat their symptoms, and empower themselves to live freely.
And you don't have to do the high thing, guys. You can go see these guys. They get you on CBD stuff, man. Don't be so afraid of it. I think the big stigma and the thing of it's such a bad thing. It's these people that say these things, I believe, have never even hinted to try it.
Yeah.
Or tried the dumb shit a long time ago and quit breathing and quit all this other. Go to somebody, talk to the right people, talk to you guys, and get the right dosage, get whatever you're looking for, and strain right to what you're kind of trying to do.
Yeah, we're trying to change the dynamic of how healthcare providers work with patients. If you look up I'm big into where words come from.
Sure.
If you look up doctor, the etymology, the Latin root meaning means to educate, to teach. If you look up dictator, it means to prescribe. And if you think about all your doctor's visits, isn't that kind of how the relationship is? It's take this, don't ask questions, do it, and if not, I'm not seeing you as a patient.
Yeah.
Instead of collaborating and does that work? Oh, or I don't want to do the pharmaceuticals, doctor. Tough shit.
Yeah.
Let me help you. Let's figure out some other alternatives. Let's work
together.
together.
There's more way.
But you got to pay part as a patient and us as a provider
to
actually effectively get the best outcome.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're trying to do.
Dude, I think it's incredible. I'm pro to the end of time. I'm just happy it's getting closer.
Yeah. Yep.
We have our cards. I don't have a card, but I don't use it that often. But when I need it, it's there, and I really enjoy what it does.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
How long, Dre? Do you got anything else?
I really just maybe want to get your information.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we have free eligibility consults that people can do over the phone. Like we tell patients, whether it's with or without us, honestly, we don't care. We just want people to have access, get the right information, and get taken care of, because the more of that goes out there, the more people that benefit. And if you help enough people get what they want, they'll help you get what you want. So if it's not with us, you're not going to hurt our feelings. We just want people to have the correct information and get help and get out of pain and get relief.
No, I want to get people to you, though. What's your he'll have it all over the screen for everybody, but what is all your stuff? You got socials?
Quintessence Health and Wellness. And our phone number is 801-930-9381. You can call and schedule a free eligibility consult over the phone. You don't have to come in, answer any of your questions, concerns, and help you through the process. And we really do that even once you make that decision to, if they decide to go with us, to walk them through that entire process until they get their card.
And it's not scary. It's not, oh my God, I'm going to get on drugs. The Xanax you took to drive there is fucking way worse, guys. Calm down. Go there, talk to people, and you can calmly walk them into what they need to be doing, man. I think that's great.
Yep. It's funny when they come in, they're like, do I tell the doctor I'm using cannabis? Absolutely.
Yeah,
if
be honest.
You can't tell your doctor and be fully honest.
But what do you do with the doctor?
You have a problem.
You don't say a word. You go in, you're like, I have high blood pressure right now. Dude, just pretend I had a coffee here. Fuck, go in and talk to him, man. My doctor's super cool.
And make it very comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of like, do I tell him or do I not? Or like,
Isn't that how we get treated?
Yeah.
But we don't.
the way they talk to you about it, they treat you like you're at the doctor for any other like they don't. I didn't feel like I couldn't be honest.
Yeah.
And this is the answer. Going to this, you guys, you can treat anything you got going on, anything. It is bizarrely, it works so well. It's incredible. So get to these guys, get to whoever, find somebody, do it. But man, we got you on. Let's get everybody pushed your way. It's easy to get your card, quit. No more excuses.
Yeah.
It's easy. Get it.
Yep. Get it and try it.
The last person that was here got her card and got it okayed through work.
Yeah.
Their work okayed her to use that medicine.
Yep.
The lady that just left here. Unbelievably awesome.
Yep.
Have that collaboration with who you're working with.
And if that's a concern, talk to your your employer before, because there are, it's still a right to work state. So technically every employer can see it or view it as any other prescription.
Yep.
Some still make that decision of no, zero tolerance.
Well, then just do the CBD,
just
right?
do CBD. Just make sure you check, are they going to be able to find out? Technically, no. Unless, if they're doing drug tests regularly, probably not a smart idea if you want to keep your job. Or, what's more important at the end of the day, this would be my perspective. And I understand everyone's got to do what they got to do, take care of their family and take care of their needs. But is your how much longer are you going to be able to do that taking the medications you're taking?
Right.
And not living life on your terms. Because doing home health and hospice, that's the one thing that people don't regret what they did. There's that saying, or what they didn't do. There's some truth to that. But you know what? Every time it was they did not live a life true to themselves. Every time.
That's fucking powerful right there.
So start living life on your terms. You're creating the life you want and tolerating. So if you don't like something, change it. No one can change it for you. You can work with people to help you change it, but at the end of the day, we're all living in results with our own decisions.
Absolutely.
And that's sometimes not as very fun, and I'm sure you can appreciate this based on, our conversation today. Most people don't like sitting in that shit for a minute. Right. But I tell you sit in shit, you get up real quick.
Yeah, you learn what you got to do.
But that's okay. You fall down, you step in some dog shit. You guys got dogs? Have you ever walked around barefoot outside and stepped in fresh dog shit?
Oh, yeah.
You don't go around blaming everybody, do you?
Let's pivot.
Right? Pivot. Okay, wash it off, put your sock and shoe back on, and okay, well, doesn't mean I'm not going to go out in my yard anymore barefoot. I just learned that I got to be a little more careful.
Yeah, man.
That's all it is.
You're a fucking inspiring dude, man.
Thanks. I try.
I really enjoyed this, man.
Me too.
That's cool. I hope this helps everybody. I hope they can take from it for sure.
Yeah.
I know I have. I've learned a lot. So
good. And we just want to educate people. So yeah.
Well, you did. You did a great job, I think.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me on anyways.
Absolutely. Yeah. Next time, grab your doctor, man. We'll do it in part 2. If he's interested, I think it's great.
Yeah. He's such a busy, he's like me. He's a workaholic.
Dude,
he works, hospitals here that I can't name and hospitals in Texas. And
sure.
He's such a cool dude, man. Like when I met him, he's like, dude, just want to help people.
Yep.
Like the money's cool, but that's not my goal. Like the dude makes crap loads of money.
Sure.
Being an anesthesiologist. And he's like, I just want to help people, man.
Really help them.
Like, what did you say?
For a long period of time.
I work with doctors, and that is not what I expect. And just real. Like, he gets it.
I think the ones doing it are those people.
Yeah.
I really do. They're embracing a change, and that's life change.
Yep. He's gotten a lot of people where he's worked, these various hospitals. Like, he's like, if they're against it, listen, your patients are doing it anyways. Literally. How do I know this? Because I see them.
Yeah. And
at least I can monitor it and not, like, be controlling over it. But I actually am learning, like, some stuff from them too.
Sure.
And it's pretty cool. Might want to come learn and see what we do.
Dude, I've been blown away today again by what I've learned. So I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about ketamine next time.
I'm all about it. I'm all about anything that helps, man.
Dude, that one's awesome.
Ketamine's
excited about
that's an interesting one because I wondered about that.
Yeah.
But everything's got its ups and downs and whatever.
So, well, thanks for having
Brock,
me.
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything you do and keep doing it, man.
Yeah, likewise.
Stick to it. Yeah, we'll do it again. We'll do a part.
There you go.
Do we get it, Drizzy? All right, guys. God damn it. Be nice to each other.
Yeah.
Everybody, love everybody.